Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back here to Food for Thought, sports picks, sports betting picks and analysis. Today we're just going to do a condensed version of my of the games and my best bets for the NHL, NBA, and the NFL. So we're going to start off with the NHL. It's going to be Buffalo versus St. Louis. The total is 5.5 goals for Buffalo and St. Louis. Again, take a look at this matchup. So we see here in this series, head-to-head, 5-5 even, 9-1 to the over. They did play earlier this year, and the line, actually last month they played, and the line went. It was actually 5.5, and it went over the total. It was 4-3 in overtime, so it did go over this game here. And Buffalo's last 10 games, 7-2 and 1 to the over, 2-7 against, and 2-7 and 1 last 10 games. St. Louis, the last 10, 4-4 and 2 last 10 games, 3-7 to the under. Despite this game going over in November, December, so for currently right now, St. Louis is trending to the under. So what I would do here, I would look at a team total. Look at a Buffalo Sabres team total over 3.5 goals. That's something I would look at, since St. Louis, their scoring hasn't been where it was last month. That's why they're 3-7 in their last 10 to the under. Next game, Edmonton and Anaheim. This is one of my favorite games today for hockey this afternoon. This total is 6.5, Edmonton and Anaheim. Matchup head-to-head, 9-1 Edmonton, 8-2 to the over. And the last 4 games have gone over the total in the last 4 meetings. Edmonton, 8-1-1 last 10 games, 5-5 to the over-under. Anaheim, they are the complete opposite, 3-6-1 the last 10 games, 3-6 to the under. Now, despite Anaheim, the last 10 games trending to the under, I still like the over. I still like over 6.5 goals. I just feel Edmonton will put up enough goals. They'll carry a lot of the scoring. They'll pull their weight, because right now, in the last 5 games, they're 3-2, and in this stretch, they're averaging about 3 to 4 goals in the last 5 games. So if you don't want, I'm personally playing the over 6.5 goals, Edmonton Anaheim. Now, if you don't want to do that, I wouldn't talk you off team total, Edmonton team total over 3.5 goals. I wouldn't talk you off of that whatsoever, because they are averaging right around 4 goals on average for the last 5 games. So I wouldn't talk you off that team total over 3.5. Me personally, this is my favorite bet for the hockey so far. Over 6.5 goals, Edmonton Anaheim. Next game, Montreal Tampa Bay. This one here is over 6.5, the total. Head-to-head, 8-2, 7-2 to the over. Montreal, overall in general, 6-4. Last 10 games, 4-3 to the over. Tampa Bay, 8-2 in their last 10 games, 4-4 to and 4-4-2 the over/under. This one here, there's no play for me on this game at all. But if I had to make a suggestion or a pick, I would lean towards the I would do a Montreal team total over 3.5 goals. Tampa Bay, I can't. There's a bit of uncertainty to their total, is because it's 4-4 and 2. So that's why I'm not taking the over. That's why I wouldn't suggest taking the full game over 6.5 goals. I'd say Montreal team total over 3.5 goals, because Montreal's averaging at least 4 goals, on average 4 goals a game at least right now. They're on a good stretch of games. So I would do Montreal team total over 3.5. That's my suggestion. And actually, I might get there with that. I might actually do that. I might take Montreal over 3.5 team total. You know what? I'm going to add that as my second pick, because Montreal's scoring it's been off the charts. So that's going to be my second pick. Montreal team total over 3.5 goals. I'm actually going to take that. So add that one as well. Next off, Washington Detroit. The total 6. Head to head 6-4, and 4-6 to the under. Washington 7-3 last 10 games, 1-7 to the under. Detroit 3-7 last 10 games, 4-4, and 2 to the for the total. This game I would lean to the under. If you like the under, play the under. I'm personally not going to play it, but I would lean to the under based on what I'm seeing here with the trends and everything. I would take the under, but I'm not personally playing this game at all. Next game, Islanders versus Pittsburgh. Total is 6 goals. That's the total. Head to head 8-2 last 10 games, 7-1 to the over. They have played actually 2 times this year, and in both meetings, both games went over the total. So I like the over here as well. I think this continues, because the Islanders are putting up goals too. Islanders 5-5 and 7-2 to the over. The Islanders 7-2 to the over in the last 7-2-1 to the over the last 10 games. Pittsburgh, they've been putting up goals too. 5-4-1 last 10, 6-4 to the over. So I like the over in this game. I think this continues, and you're getting at 6. This one is at 6. Let me check the odds speed on this one to make sure we're getting the right number. I saw 6. Let me just see. Let me just see something. Yes, it's 6 across the board. 6, 6, 6. Yeah, I would. I see some 6.5s, but I would bet the over. Over 6. Yes, I bet over 6 goals. Yes, I would take the 6. That's actually a good one. I'll definitely take that. Let's see. Next game, Ottawa, Minnesota. This one here is 6, the total 6, head to head 8-2, 5-4 to the over. They have not played yet this year. The last 10 games, 7-3, 1-6 to the under. Last 10 games, 4-6, 4-6 to the under for Minnesota. So both teams are playing to the under. I would lean to the under, but I'm not going to play this. I'm not playing this game at all, but I would lean to the under, yes. I would look at the under. Not playing it, though. Next game, Vegas versus Calgary. Total 6.5 goals. Head to head, 5-5, 4-6 to the under. They played once this year in October. It was under the total. It was 6.5. It was under the total. In general, Calgary 5-2-3. Last 10 games, 6-4 to the over. Calgary. Vegas 8-2 last 10 games, 3-7 to the under. Now Vegas has won 5 straight games. They've won 4 straight games. So they've been on fire. Now they did beat Calgary October 28th. I would take Vegas. I'd take Vegas on the money line. I think Vegas is a good play. Vegas on the money line. Yes, I'd take Vegas. They're at home too. Vegas is at home as well. Yeah, they're at home. I would take Vegas here. I would definitely take Las Vegas. Vegas for the money line. I like Las Vegas.
Halftime.
Next up, Dallas, Chicago. This game is totaled at 6. Head to head, 7-3. 7-3. Dallas has the edge. 5-4 to the over. These games, they've already played 3 times already. First time this game was a push at 6. Second time was under 6 goals. The third time went over 6 goals. The total is sitting at 6. Oh boy. Let's see. Dallas 4-5-1 last 10 games, 2-8 to the under. Chicago 4-6 last 10 games, 6-4 to the over. This game here, let's see. This game's a pass. I'm not touching this. The game's gonna be a pass. I have no opinion or thoughts in this game whatsoever. This is a complete pass. No play on this game at all. Next game, Philly, LA. Too much uncertainty in that game. Philly, LA for this one here, 5.5 the total. Head to head, 6-4 last 10 games, 5-4 to the over. Philadelphia last 10, 4-5-1, 6-3 to the over. And Los Angeles 6-2-2 last 10 games, 3-7 to the under. They played once this year and it went over 7-3. This is a few. This is about over a week ago they played in Philadelphia. This time around, this game is in Los Angeles. And the line is 5.5. Let's get the current odds. Let's look at the current odds here. Let's take a look. It's 5.5. Yeah, this one I would take the over. I would take the over in this game. I take the over. 5.5. I grab the over. Yeah, I like the over in this game here. So that's it for hockey. Now we're gonna turn our attention to the NFL. The NFL is a brief. We're gonna go to the 4 o'clock games for the NFL, and we do have Minnesota versus Green Bay. This game is in Green Bay. Yes, it's in. Sorry, the game's in Minnesota. Green Bay, Minnesota. The line opened up -1, and the total is 49. 49 is the total. So we see the current line now. A lot of books have it as pick'em, even money, and the total is and it's gone down a little bit to 48.5. I do like in this game, I like the over. Over 48.5. I do like the over a lot. I like that. And I like... This is a toss-up who's going to win this game. I like the over more, over 48.5. I like that a lot more. Now, I wouldn't talk about Green Bay team total over 24.5. That's another good one, too. Team total over 24.5. That's another good play. Wouldn't talk you off of that at all. But my play would be over 48.5. The side, I'll lean Green Bay. I'll lean Packers. I'll lean to the Packers, but it's not a strong play. But I'll lean Packers. Next game, Miami versus Cleveland. The line opened up at 3. Miami, total 42.5. Current line now, let's see. Current line now is still 3.5. It hasn't really moved. Yeah, this hasn't really done anything. It's still 3.5. Still 3.5, 3. Nothing. It hasn't done anything. The total is sitting at 30. The total is at 42.5. Now it's come down to 32.5, 33s we're seeing. This is weird. I would lean Cleveland. I'll take Cleveland on the points. And Dorian Thompson under his passing yards. I don't know what his passing yards are now, but Dorian Thompson under his passing. I'm gonna look at that right now. Let me check that out right now. But Dorian Thompson under his passing yards. Let me see. Let me take a look at that. But yeah, I like. I'll lean Cleveland. I like Dorian. Let me just double check this. Let me get deleted. Let me get. Hold on. I'm gonna check something here. Yeah, I like Cleveland here. Cleveland the 3.5. I like Cleveland. Cleveland the cover, the 3.5. And yeah, Cleveland the cover. And it's 150. Oh, I take that back. I was gonna bet the under, but it's 150. That's kind of low. I was expecting it to be a bit high. Tyler Huntley. Yeah, I was expecting that to be a bit high, but yeah, it's low. It's kind of low. Yeah, it kind of pushed me off of that. Yeah, this is trick. I don't have a prop for this game, no prop, but I do like Cleveland. Cleveland plus 3.5. The line hasn't really moved. It's been pretty stale. There's no real movement. It's just pretty stale. So that's not a good sign. When it's stale with very little movement, I would lean to Cleveland plus 3.5. I'll take the Browns. Yeah, plus you're getting that hook.
Halftime.
You're getting the hook. So when you get the hook, you gotta take the Browns. Now I know the home dogs have not been doing well.
Halftime.
But I would look at Cleveland in this one. And I would take the total. 32 is so low. I don't. Brutal. Yeah, I'll just take Cleveland plus 3.5. I would take that. That's it. The total's tough. The tough call on the total. Very low. Yeah, low. Very low. I'm not really feeling it. Now, let's see. Yeah, I don't have anything else. That's all I have for this game. Nothing else for this one. Next game, Atlanta versus Washington. This game is in Washington. Total is right now 46.5, and the spread is 3.5. I love the Atlanta Falcons here. This is one of my top NFL plays of the day. I like the Falcons a lot. 1,000% like the Falcons. Falcons plus 3.5. Michael Penix over 48.5 rushing yards. Those are my two plays for this game. Penix over 48.5 rushing yards. Actually, sorry, not Penix, excuse me. Jaden Daniels over 48.5 rushing yards. Atlanta plus 3.5. I like that a lot. So I'll be all over that. That's it for the NFL. There's only 2 4:00 games for the NFL. Actually, yeah, only there are 3 4:00 games. I gave out the other one too. So 3 4:00 games for the NFL. Yes, actually, sorry, 2 4:00 games. Did I 2 4:00 NFL games, and then 1 to 8 o'clock. So I gave out all 3 of those. And now we're going to get to the NBA, the National Basketball Association. We're definitely going to get there. We're going to get on that. Let me get to that here. NBA. Let's see the NBA card. Let's see NBA. First game up, Brooklyn one moment. Yeah, Brooklyn versus Orlando. The current line is -8. Total 202.5. The line, let's see here. The line opened up. The line opened up at 5.5, 209.5. Now the line's currently at 8. We're seeing some 8s, 8 across the board. So -8, Orlando. Total still at 202. Hasn't really moved. Actually, 203. We've seen some 203s, but mostly 202s in this game. So let's look at this one here. Now, they have played 3 times already this year. The first game was October 25th in Orlando. The spread was 11.5. And the total was 214. And it went over the total. Second game was November 29th in Brooklyn. -8. This one went over the total. 123-100. First game went over. It was 116-101. Third game is December 1st in Brooklyn. This one went under, so it was 192, went under the total. And Orlando was -7. I like Orlando in this game. I like Orlando here. I think Orlando continues to dominate Brooklyn. This is probably their 4th and final meeting. I like Orlando to cover. I like the Magic. Brooklyn's been a train wreck. They're 3-7 last 10 games, 4-6 against the spread, and 4-6 to the under. So I know they covered in Milwaukee, but they didn't cover in San Antonio at this same number, -8. They did not cover that game. They almost covered it, but they lost by 9. They nearly covered. I'll take Orlando. I'll take Orlando to cover the 8. I like Orlando here. All right, I think Orlando's going to cover this. I know they lost 2 in a row, but I believe Orlando's going to bounce back here and cover the number. I believe they can cover this. Yeah, they've dominated Brooklyn. Orlando's dominated Brooklyn. Yeah, they've dominated Brooklyn. So I like Orlando here. Orlando -8. No opinion on the total. Next up, Indiana Boston. They just played Friday. Now they're playing again on Sunday. This is another rematch. Total -11. Sorry, the spread's -11. Total 232.5. I have no player. So the Brooklyn, Orlando, no player props in that game. I have none whatsoever. Boston, as you know, they played twice. Both games went over the total. 7-3 to the over. 7-3 to the over. 7-3 against the spread. Indiana 7-3 head-to-head. Boston played twice already. Both games went over. The only play I have for this game is Jason Tatum over 3.5 3-pointers. I like that one. Tatum has good games against Indiana, so I like the Tatum prop over 3.5 3-pointers. That's the only play I have for this game. I have nothing else on this game. That's it. Next game, Atlanta-Toronto. -1 Toronto. Total is 239. Now this opened up at, if we look at it, let's see here. It opened up at 1.5. Atlanta was -1.5, and the total was 235.5. This is when it first opened up. Now it's gone all the way to 239, and Toronto's favored by 1. They're favored by 1 right now, and now it's gone to 240. And then it came back to 239. I personally saw this. Then it came back to 239. So it's kind of all over the place. This one here, right now, I like the first half over 120. What's that? 120 and a half, 120. Shop around, but I like the first half over in this game. Um, that's my take on that. Yeah, I like the first half over. They've been flip flopping over unders. These teams have flip flop over unders, but I do like the first half. I would look at the first half over. Yeah, first half over. I would look at. Yes, I'll take the first half over 120. Trae Young over 11 and a half assists. He's cleared this number a lot lately. He's gone over this number quite a bit. But Trae Young, 11 and a half assists. Let's see where it's at now. But that's one of my props that I like. He's been killing it. He's been killing it on the props. This guy's been killing it on the props. But I like the Trae Young. Trae Young. Assists. I like that. That's one. That's the one I like. I like the Trae Young assists. Yeah, I like the Trae Young. Yeah, Trae Young and an assist. Trae, let's see here. Yeah, it's 11 and a half. I like the Trae Young assists. I would take that. That's a good prop. Very good prop. I like that. The last 5 games, he's gone three. He's 3 out of 5 in the last 5 games, clearing this number. I would definitely take that. Trae Young, that's probably the prop of the day. Trae Young over 11 and a half assists. I'm taking that. I'm all over that, man. I'm on that. So the Atlanta Toronto over 120 and a half first half, or 120. Either one I would take, and then the Trae Young over 11 and a half assists. Next game, Memphis versus OKC. This one's 6.5. Total is 232. This is in Oklahoma City. And head-to-head 6-4, 4-6 to the under. Last 10 games, 3-7. 4-6 to the. Let me repeat that again. Sorry. Head-to-head 6-4 last 10 games, 4-6 to the against the spread. Oklahoma City, 3-7 to the under. This one here, last 10, 8-2, Memphis, 8-2 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Oklahoma City, 9-1 against this, 9-1. Now last 10, 7-2-1 against the spread, 3-7 to the under. So this game here, let's see. It's at 231. Let me take a look at this. Let me look at the odds screen and see what's going on with this game. The line opened up at 7.5. The total's 228, so it's gone from 228 to 232. So it's 232 here. 232. Let's take a look at this one here a little bit. I'm going to look at something here. Memphis, OKC. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I see something. All right. Okay, let's see something here. Okay. Okay. This game here, I like over a lot. Over in this game. 232. I like the over 232. Memphis, OKC. And I'm looking at the first half as well. I like these first half. I'm a big first half over better. So I like the first half angle as well. Let me see something here. Let's look at this one. This is an interesting over. Okay. This is a good one. Let's see the first half. First half. It's 112.5 the first half. I would bet the full game over. Memphis, Oklahoma City over. Over 232. If you can get the 231, take the 231. But I like the over in this game. I do like the over. I know the last few games they've gone, they're even to the under, but I like the over in this game. Memphis' offense, they have an explosive offense, and I think their explosive offense will set the pace for the game, whereby OKC would have to keep pace. Because OKC, they're playing a lot of unders lately in the last 10 games, 4-6 to the under. So right now, Memphis' offense is fire. And like I said, Memphis' offensive style of play is something that OKC is going to have to adapt to, and I think they're going to have to keep pace. I think in that, and therefore, if that happens, which I believe is going to happen, I like the over 231.5, 232. Shop around, see if you can get it. I like that. I'm on that one. I'm gonna be on the over. Let's go to the next game. Let's see. We're doing good on time as well. I know you have to go out there. You have to go make these bets soon. So I'll try to get this going. Let's see. Okay, so the next game is going to be Miami versus Houston. 8.5. The spread's 8.5. Total's 216.5. Miami and Houston. Now we're going to see where this line opened up. It opened up at 6.5. 6.5 is opened up at 6.5. The total was 215.5. Now it's at 8.5, 9. So it's gone up quite a bit. 9 is the majority number right now. So if you like the dog, you got a good number at the dog. If you like the favorite, you better shop around for that 8.5. There's a few 8.5s around, but they're not many. Not many 8.5s around. So shop around, see if you can get that 8.5. If you cannot get it, and if you like Miami as a favorite, wait till the game goes live and live bet it. If not, pass and lay off of it. This game here, personally, I have no opinion. I have no opinion on this game whatsoever. This is a pass. Houston off a loss, a heartbreaker to Minnesota. Yeah, I don't want to get in front of Houston because they're off. They're an angry bunch right now, and they might take their frustrations out on Miami tonight. So I may not get. I don't want to get involved with this game at all. This is a clear pass. Next game, San Antonio, Minnesota. The line opened up at -7 to 215.5. Right now, it's 6.5. That's the current. The majority have 6.5. Total 215.5. That's the consensus. Consensus 6.5 right now. 215.5. This is the last game on the board that we're going to be doing. Let's see. Game is in Minnesota. Head-to-head. Okay, hold on one moment. Sorry. Head-to-head. 6-4. Head-to-head. Minnesota 7-3 against the spread. San Antonio 4-6 to the under. San Antonio 5-5 last 10. 5-5 against the spread. 7-3 to the over. And then Minnesota 6-4 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 3-7 to the under. So they played twice already. Both games were in San Antonio. Spurs won the first game. They were 4-point dogs. They covered as a dog, and it went over 214. The following month in December, this is about 2 weeks ago in San Antonio. The line is kind of similar to what it was in November, just a half point, 4.5. Total was pretty much the same, 214.5. Minnesota won and covered this game, 106.92. They covered. Now the third game is 215.5. So interestingly enough, the total has gone up by a point, and the spread is 6.5. This one here, this game's a pass as well. If I have to look at a prop, I have no opinion on this game at all. This one's a pass. No opinion on this game. Prop wise, let's see. Prop wise, let's look at the props. Let me see something. Prop wise, let's see what I can find here. That's a big question. Props. I look at Chris Paul, points, rebounds, and assists, 19.5. In 3 of the last 5 games, he's cleared this number. He didn't clear it the last game, but he has cleared it for the most part. I would look at that as a prop for San Antonio. That's the big prop I see. Chris Paul prop. Well, let me see. Oh man. For Minnesota, on the Minnesota side, I'd take Julius Randle. Julius Randle over 19.5 points. He's cleared this number 3 of the last five times. So that's a good prop. Julius Randle over 19.5 points. That's a good one. I would go with that. Yeah, I like that one. Those are the 2 props I would take for that. Randle over 19.5 points. The Chris Paul points, rebounds, and assists over. I would take that. So those are all my picks that I gave out for the card. Thank you very much for tuning in. Cash those tickets. Stay true to yourself. Stay blessed. Believe in yourself. And until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.